ultimately how far I can go. And after that first show, I stepped off stage and I told myself, you know what? I'm going to be a natural IFBB pro one day. Don't know when, but it's going to happen. And then now here we are.
Well, it did happen. Yeah, it did happen for you. Congratulations. And you started your training in 2016, made debut 2017. What was the organization you started with? And how long were we with that before you switched over?
Yeah, so I did do a first NPC show, just one for that year, that season. Then after that, as a natural, I didn't really know that there were other natural federations. So I was really a baby to everything. So my coach at the time, his name is Chris Foster. He introduced me to a lot of these different organizations. You know, you got OCB, you got INBF, WNBF, and PNB, INBA, PNBA. So I actually ended up going through the INBA, PNBA route. I did my first show for INBA, PNBA, I want to say 2018, literally the next year, and fell in love with it. It was the Chicago Championship show, and that's when I won my pro card, season two, as a INBA, PNBA pro. And so then I took a year off after that, grew, went back for that show, did my pro debut a year after that. I think it was like 2020. Well, actually, I wanted to, but then COVID happened. And you know what happened during COVID, but
I can tell
after that,
you, I can tell you, COVID was not a great year for me or my family. My mother had got the virus and she passed away
mm,
from it because I was taking care of her for a long time. She was sick, and that's something we can't forget about it, but it happened.
yeah,
You know.
it happened. Yeah.
hmm
So I didn't, it felt like a setback, but ultimately I just, you look at it as, okay, there things happen for a reason. So I just took it as, okay, this is another growing season for me. So it was 2 years off. Then went for pro debut and I qualified for the Natural Olympia. And so for that same year, which was in November, I decided, you know what, coach, let's go all in. I am going to the Natural Olympia this year, my first ever national level show as a pro in Las Vegas. Had no idea what I was doing by myself. But I had my coach. He wasn't there, but he was there in spirit. Um, Ended up placing top five, so I got fourth place, and that was where I was just really upset with myself and how I showed up. And as a Leo, because I am a Leo, we want to win everything, right? So I'm a winner at heart, and I thought maybe this isn't for me after take place in fourth place, but so I decided to take almost 3 years off, really, and just focused on my career and growing. And then I ended up getting a new coach. His name is Cliff Wilson. And Cliff Wilson is literally the best coach out there, hands down, for natural athletes and enhanced athletes. But he took me to a whole new level I didn't even know existed. So we were planning to compete in 2023, but I had a lot going on with 2023, 2024. I had a lot going on with my career and everything, and switched careers, and stress was high. Everything was just counting against me, basically. So we decided to pull the plug. So, because I was in prep, but we pulled the plug and just kind of let me focus on getting my hormones back together and everything, and just get this cortisol down because the cortisol was very, very high due to all the life things in a way. And so,
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. Life is tough. It could be, but with you, like my man Jerome was like this. You're still wet behind the ears and breath smell like Similac. Yeah, he had hit. It's tough because I can tell you the truth. Because, like I said, how old are you, young lady? I usually don't ask young missus their
no,
age, but
yeah,
yeah,
I'll be 35 this year. So,
35.
oof, yeah, I'll be 35 in August.
Thought you were
Yeah,
22.
can't tell. I know.
I usually don't like I say. I'm looking at you guys. She's talking about life is hard, and you know, like you like
Yeah.
you just got out, you just got out your mama's titty, and now you talk about life is hard. I tell you, yeah, I tell you right now, little girl, life was hard. I grew up poor. My family was
Mm,
sharecroppers. They had to work. I worked a little bit when I was younger. I had
mm,
two jobs, and it can be rough. That's the thing about life. It tests us. I remember my
yes.
older brother when he died. This was about 20 years ago, and somebody told me, said, God don't put no more than he can bear. And then
Mm,
sometimes it's like this, it can, there are things that can probably bend you, but as long as it doesn't break you, you're pretty good. And you know,
yes.
and you went through a lot to go this far, and now you're IFB Pro, and you're competing as a natural competitor. And that's the, what
Mhm.
was that decision behind that? Because you know it's a lot harder for your natural competitors, especially to bring the size, the density. If you look at some of the competitors now in the sport over the period of time.
I just always knew, I just honestly getting into bodybuilding, I always knew I wasn't never going to go the enhanced route. It's just something that I knew. I just really didn't seem something that was made sense to me because ultimately genetics does play a role. And I know I have the genetics, and all I have to do is just work hard, and I have the discipline. I have, you know, that drive to continue as a natural, and got to do what I got to do, whether it's eat a shit ton of food. I'm gonna do it. If I gotta push extremely hard in my workouts, guess what? I'm gonna do it. And ultimately, I'm gonna stay natural forever. 100% natural athlete forever, as long as I can, and that's just that. So enhance is just something that I really just thought I don't really want to go that route because you'll see a lot. Unfortunately, we have seen so many of them, the bodybuilders that have died these past couple of years, and I don't want to say it's because they're enhanced, but I feel like that definitely has something to do with it.
Mhm. Well, there's some different factors also if they have any kind of medical issue. Also,
Yeah.
one thing is diuretics that can dehydrate you. That
Yes.
is one thing you got to be careful about using. We have some people in here. This is my man, Black Panther Studio. He says, Sadie is the greatest. Who's Sadie? I mean,
I don't know who that is.
I don't know
Maybe
Sadie.
I don't know no Sadie.
It's Sable. It's Sable. That's the
There we
name, like the
go.
cat in the car.
Yes.
Also, we have a someone here that knows you. Her name is Tracy
Ah,
Murphy.
Tracy.
That's my bestie, Tracy Murphy. You know,
That's
like
my best friend. My best friend. That's right.
Tracy
She's a
Murphy,
power lifter. She's a power
powerlifter.
lifter.
So she's
Yes.
strong.
She's professional. She's a referee. Everything. That girl is strong.
Well, Miss Tracy, if you're ever interested, like I said again, my content is about giving opportunity to ladies. I just not just do women's bodybuilding. I also did interviews with ladies in professional wrestling, um, combat sports from MMA and bare knuckle. I'm open to give you opportunity to share. I've even had a powerlifter on before. And I know some quite a few bodybuilders who were powerlifting transition and still compete as powerlifter. So,
Hmm. She's natural
so
too.
natural. And that's the thing is, that's natural is really, as I said again, starting to really pick up in the NPC and IFBB
Hmm.
because I said again, there's coming up in a few months, the Pittsburgh Pro's coming up, and it has a natural pro qualifier starting last year. You have to do a regional to be able to qualify for that pro
Yeah.
qualifier. There's also some few because I told her, we're talking earlier that I'll send her the list for this year's because I know she's probably planning on maybe take some time off to grow because we come out here, step
Hmm.
on the stage, the big dogs. You really have to really, bring your A game.
Yes. Yes. And that is exactly what I'm planning to do this year. Take the year off to grow. It's not, off season because I'm still putting in that work, but growing, we're going to focus on growing the back, the delts, and the arms for
Mm.
2027 pro debut.
And that was a critique you got from the judges. That's the thing you need to work on.
No, actually, that's just something that coach and I decided that's what we're going to focus on. The judges told me there's really nothing that I need to change. We can all get a little bigger, but yeah, just coming dialed in. That's what they tell me for the Ben Weeder show. So yeah, I guess it also hamstrings could get a little bigger, but they didn't really tell me much that I needed to focus on. But we're going to come in taking it all.
All right, all right. Yeah, she's confident. She's confident. She got a
Oh
hell
yeah.
up. We got here for your friend Tracy Murphy. So she says, yes, Team
Team
Natty
Natty.
around here. Yeah, I'm a big natty, but the kind of natty is like I don't eat a lot of well. I'm getting a little bit older now. It's kind of slowed down. I'm old man. Some days I get up in the morning, I hear my bones quicking. And I remember when I was a young man and used to run all day, run all night. Then I looked and say, God, what happened? So, but that's the thing is that it does take a lot more for y'all to bring a certain level, especially because you're not enhanced. Because that's one thing about bodybuilding. People look at it because of the issue of performance enhancers, steroids, pads, peptides, whatever. But those are only things used in the growth. Like it helps you in your recovery. You recover a lot faster. But as a natural competitor, it takes you a lot longer because it might take you maybe a year or more to put on 6 or 7 more pounds compared to if you're natural. I saw one lady I follow, met her actually. I was in Tampa. Went to Tampa Bay Pro. Check it out. It was a friend of mine. She runs her own company called Bad Rap. I'll tell you about her a little bit later. And I met this woman, Megan. Her name is Megan Morrison. She goes by Dr. Meg. She's right now getting ready to compete. She competes in women's physique. But if you see her, you will think she's women's bodybuilding.
Ooh. Okay, so she's big.
She's huge. Yeah, But that's the thing is about it's about the process, the time you take, the grow and your diet, and your coach. Like how long y'all been together, and when did you meet?
So my coach Cliff, we've been together for 2 years now. So he's honestly, I've followed Cliff and 3DMJ since I got into bodybuilding, because they're all science-based events coaches. But Cliff, he really stuck out to me the most because he worked with a lot of Black female athletes, and just seeing what he's capable of doing with women that look like me, I knew that he would be the best one to get me to where I want to be. So, yeah, we started 2 years ago, and I told him, you're my coach for life. You're gonna be stuck with me forever.
Oh, that's good. That's good to have a good relationship with a coach who
hmm
understands you as an athlete, who understands your passion and your interests. Because this sport, from many of my conversations I have with some of you ladies, it's so much to it. The mental aspects of it, the physical, the
Yes.
emotional, the financial. That's the big
hmm
thing. Because if you look at it, unlike other sports where, okay, I can make a living off of this. I can, go on and maybe, hey, I can have a good life. But with bodybuilding, you're putting more in than you're getting back out of it. But somebody tell
hmm
me to do it for a passion.
Passion. That's exactly what it is. You have to be passionate about it and understand that you're choosing to do it too. So the passion is what really drives you to go as far as you want to go, because you can literally do what you want to do, and how it's really up to you and how far you go into bodybuilding, whether it's continuing to do those NPC shows or going all the way to the next level and becoming a pro. It's really about how passionate you are and staying that drive.
The thing is important, drive is important. So, folks, we got Sable here. We're going to do this. We're going to jump into her social media for a little bit. You want to follow her? Links in the description is live. Reach out with genuine interest and support. These ladies do need it because, like I said again, this is a lot of work and time to put into it, and they do need that. But guys, I'll tell you like this: she's a nice young lady. I know she got a tank top on. She's all buffed out. She's just
Got
look
to
at that
pump
guy.
in
Yeah,
today.
got to pump in. She got to pump in. But you guys out there. And see, I have to make my crime. I am a muscle person. No, I understand these guys. Guys, no the pics. Stop it.
Oh
Don't.
God.
She's old enough to be one of my nieces. I got a niece just around your age. If you do that, I am coming after you. Hey. Like I said, hey, she looks like she's like one of my great nieces, just about. Hey, we got to test. We got to protect our sisters, our daughters, our nieces, our mothers, our wives in this community, especially women in bodybuilding. So y'all behave yourself. You're gonna have a problem with me. So, folks, like I said
Mhm.
again, we're gonna jump into social media for a bit. And if you want to follow the links in the description of this live. So we're looking here, and like I said, she sent some pictures here and there. It said, and a couple of them pretty nice. I mean, like it's like some of you, I mean, wow, like this one here. So like this is her getting ready. This was when was this?
Oh, that was the day before my first show, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah,
let
yeah,
me read
pretty
that
good.
real quick.
Yeah,
Let me
you have
see.
a great symmetry to you. Like I
Yeah.
think you kind of really reminds me how women's physique first started, and maybe women's bodybuilding, like in
Yes.
the I would say the mid '80s to the early '90s. How it used
Hmm.
to look, because I think you have a great aesthetic to you.
Hmm.
What
Actually,
did
I won the most symmetrical award for my first show, my PNBA show,
Yeah, that's pretty
and
good.
that definitely was like, okay, yeah, I'm going all in. We getting everything. I'm getting the pro card. I'm going for Ben Wieners. But yeah, so that was actually for the first show of the season, the Chicago PNBA Pro Show.
Yeah, and this is for the show that got your regional qualification for to be Weeder.
Hmm.
What
Yep.
was that experience like for you there?
Oh, it was great. Felt so welcome. That was when the judges came backstage looking for me to give me my feedback, and they told me, "We love your look. You don't need to change anything. You're going into Ben Wieners. You could take it all." And that right there, I almost cried because it was like, "Yeah, we got this. I'm in there. Let's go."
Who's the baby?
Oh, that's just a meme. Just letting everybody know. Job's not finished. Although I won, and now we're going to the Ben Wieners. Got 3 weeks out.
That's 3 weeks out.
That was basically my motto. Job's not finished.
And here she is. This is her crowning because you won in your class. What class was you in?
Yep. I was in class A, so that was the short folks.
The tiny ones, and then you won the
Yeah.
overall. I mean, that's pretty
Hmm.
good. I mean, to come in here and this is the video from. We're gonna play it for a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my
Like I said
posing
again,
routine.
yeah. That's the thing. Posing is very important. You have a posing coach, or does your coach does that too?
But actually, I do my own posing. But my coach did help me with my rear double bicep because I had a hard time with the internal or external rotation in the shoulders. So we met up and he really helped me get those shoulders to pop better and my hamstrings to pop better in that back pose. But I work on my posing. I practice posing at the end of each set after I get out of the shower. Anytime in front of a mirror, I practice posing.
hmm You get good distance in your shoulders. Good lat spread. Your nice connection
Yeah.
in your glutes between your hamstrings.
Hmm.
Just the thing is, just the size is probably
Yep.
the thing you need the most, especially around your shoulders, in your
Hmm.
quads. Everything else is,
Hmm.
is just good symmetry. This is why I say this is the standard where I'd like to see women's physique just a little bit more fuller. That's all it needs to be. Other than
Yep.
that, you don't need to be too close to women's bodybuilding. I keep having a debate with some people about that. And here she is
Mhm.
again. This is a nice picture here.
Yeah,
Or
that's my
this is
favorite
from
picture.
that's for she gets it's got a wide those wide lats. Do you think like what division you feel like you want to make your pro debut? Do you feel like you're more physique or closer to figure?
I like women's physique. I've actually had a judge ask me that too, and told me that I could go into figure as well, but I'm not a heels girl. That's one big reason why I don't want to do figure. But women's physique, I truly have always been in love with it, and I want to stick with it and just continue to make it popular and grow with it.
I think that's everybody's. I think mostly they feel comfortable. They like to move around, do more posing. They can grow in that
Hmm.
division. With figure, you got to wear the high heels. I have ladies told me
Yeah.
stories when they left figure, they were happy to leave the high heels. I have ladies say
Yeah.
they love do it. I even remember one lady when she was doing figure, she used to walk on the treadmill on high heels. He's
Mm.
also a foodie, so we're going to show his little video here.
It's that time. Law Cherry, I don't know
I
why
love
I've
my
never tried this
food.
try today. My whole sky is healing up. It's a snowy day today. I'm at work. We have multiple classes running right now. So this is wild cherry, bear bells. Somebody tried to correct me the other day, said it's barbells, it's barbells. It's not spelled barbell, it's B-A-R-E, bear bells. I heard someone barbells. But anyway, ooh, oh, that smells really good. Okay, because y'all know I love barbells. The best protein bars, hands down. Ooh, okay, so it's making me think of that lemon cheese flake flavor. Because look at that, look at all that red right there. Look at it. There you go. That's what it look like. That look like. Yeah. Oh yeah, this gonna be a 10 out of 10. I already know. Yep. Yeah. Man, that cherry coating, yellow cherry, that cherry filling. Oh, but like I said last time, no nothing compared to that lemon cheesecake. This is close. It's a slight that with anything cherry, it always has like that artificial taste. It's there, but it's still good. I'm gonna give this a 9.
I hate you skinny people. I hate y'all. Y'all can eat a whole big old meal and not gain half a pound. My black ass, my fat black ass, I can eat, a piece of bread and I'm already blown up. So, but yeah, I think that's the one thing about bodybuilding. Food is the most important part of the growth. I mean, the right food, the right substances. And even nice to do. I know your coach, he has a little free feed every now and then for you because sometimes you just can't live on bread and water alone.
Oh God. Yeah. No. Right now, actually, this is the most carbs I have ever eaten my entire bodybuilding career and just honestly my whole life. So I'm on right now 245 grams of carbs on my just normal day. But then on my refeed days, 310 grams of carbs. Whew. I've never done that before, so this is going to be new. I mean, I just started this, so this refeed this weekend will be my first time trying to hit those 310 grams of carbs.
That's a lot, because that's
Yeah.
the thing is, it's important to, like most people think that being bodybuilding, you have to eat like a bird. You're not, you have to eat because
Mm-mm.
you need that to fuel your body because you're working out, you're training, you're doing this, you're
Yes.
doing that. There's so much work involved with it. Because one thing because you're not a enhanced competitor, but people are always going to always throw up the issue of steroids and performance enhancing uses in any kind of sport, especially bodybuilding. But I learned this. This is from a fighter I used to follow. His name is Nate Diaz. He says everybody uses it because the fact is it's used for in things from inhalers to birth control to people who are on things such as going through cancer. But you are playing it safe because it's easier. No, like I say, people say it's easier to say pop a pill and I can get you big, but
Mm-hmm.
in order, and people have told me to be in that level, you have to still train. You still have to diet. You still have to rest, recovery. There's so many nuances involved to grow in bodybuilding.
Yep. Yes. And honestly, I just feel like the off season or your improvement season is a little bit harder than your actual prep season. Because prep, you get a meal plan, you follow it. Whereas your off season, coach tells you, okay, let's add another 50 grams of carbs. Okay, so you may not be hungry, but you're gonna have to eat that. So, and then you're training, you're pushing to higher levels. Like right now, I'm on a very high volume program, just started. And when I tell you high volume, I'm doing like drop sets to failure every day, or I'm doing 2 sets of 20 per leg for lunges, that type of stuff. And if your recovery is not good, then your training is going to be trash. And then if you're just ruining your improvement because you're not recovering properly. So you got to make sure you're getting at least those 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep a day. Supplements. I take a lot of supplements too in my off season to support my sleep because again, that recovery is everything, but it
Mhm.
is a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, because there's a lot more nuances to it. It's not as simple as everybody think it is. Because
Hmm.
and like I said again, you have to be consistent. That's the important part about
Yes.
this. You can't just, motivation is one thing. That can go out the window the next day. You can get one morning, go to the gym, and right now where I'm at, what's the weather like where you at?
ugly. I'm in Indiana, so it's weird. The Midwest is cold one day and then it's like 60 degrees, snowing the next day. So,
Yeah, you're gonna get mad at me. I live in North Carolina. Right now it's 70, 40 degrees.
oh, it's like 54 here, which is
Yeah.
weird because it's the winter time.
Well, the South's always going to be different, because we're a little bit closer to the equator. So,
Yeah.
y'all up there, up north, y'all up there, like one thing is like when it snows, it snows like a foot down that way. Y'all don't blink an eye, but down here in the South, it snows and it can be half a foot, and everybody go crazy because that's how it is sometimes. But yeah, that's the thing. That's like weather could maybe derail your opportunity to go, but that's what's important about discipline. Because
Hmm.
if you have that discipline, that mindset, saying, you know what, even though it's out there, it's like shooting like hail and stuff like that, I still gotta go and do what I need to do because I want to get that next level. I want to be the best version of myself that I can be.
Exactly, exactly. And that's what's part of the drive. Because, like you said, I tell this to my clients too, because I'm also a personal trainer. Motivation is like this. It's never going to be consistent. It's like a wave in the ocean. You have a big, huge wave, and then you have those little bitty baby waves. That's exactly motivation. But at the end of the day, the ocean's still there, and you're the ocean. So you've got to be able to move through the groove, and push through.
Yeah. Yeah. So either swim or drown. That's the choice you got.
Exactly. And I'm a
Yeah.
swim, even though I don't know how to swim.
Well, I don't know how to swim either, so I'm more drown a bit. But yeah. But I can understand that because at one point, like I said earlier, I was taking care of my mother for a long time. And she was sick for a good 5 6 years, and at that point I was not doing smart and healthy things, especially when it comes to food was seen as a comfort because
Hmm.
and I was just at 500 pounds. And
Hmm.
then when she passed, didn't have anybody to take care of myself because my mom was my woman. I took care of her, she took care of me. And then I made a decision, I got to make some healthy choices for myself. Because one thing I should tell you about me, I have a pacemaker, had it for 11 years. I had my first heart attack when I was 39 years old. And
Wow.
then I decided, my therapist said, you need to do something. Yeah. Okay. So I kept working for a good while. Then I quit my job. My mom got sick. Then I decided that, what, I'm not doing anything. I'm just getting by with what I got, and then say she took care of me, so it was my turn to take care of her. So, and when she passed, because it was during COVID, when she got the virus, I saw a picture of myself and it was like, God, what happened? And I said, you know what? I need to make some changes. I'm not perfect. That's the
Mhm.
one thing. Like this afternoon, I had a beef burrito. So with some
That sounds good.
with some sweet tea. So but I do try to be smart. Right now I'm at 416. Last time I was in my doctor was last month. I have 416. That's pretty good. I just need to be more consistent. I need to be pushed more. But I got one problem. I got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Arthritis is hitting in on me because I'm getting old. I just turned 51 just about almost 2 months ago. But
Okay.
that's why I really respect what you men and women who are competitors because you're disciplined. It's just most people, as I said, won't have that same discipline because it's easy to get derailed.
Hmm. Very.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you have clients. So how long you been a coach and a trainer?
I've been a trainer since shoot for 10 years now. This would be year 10. Yeah. Started at Get Fifth Athletic Club back in East Washington Street, if you know, you know. And then decided, to go further and go into the corporate world and worked at a place that I don't really want to name. And now I'm at a Lifetime. So I love it. And
Yeah,
my clients love me.
yeah. When I was a young man, I worked two jobs. And, I worked here and there. I went to school for a little bit, but then life is hard. You need to try to make a living. And one of my jobs was I worked in a gentleman's club. I always want to tell because this is a great story to tell because I did that for a few years and I worked textiles. I worked my last job before I quit was working in a meat packing product. I've done a lot of things, and those things were things that molded me to be the person I am. Like your job, your career. What is your current main career? Which is like your main income, the thing that pays for everything now?
Oh, it's my personal training business. Yep. So I am full time at Lifetime, and then I also have my online business as well. Well, I just help people whether they're looking for nutrition guidance or programming, like actual exercise programs. I help them with that and whatnot, or we could do a mixture of both. So really, that's my
And
outlook.
you I need to reach out more to some of your ladies because I know I need to. But the problem is, again, I'm set in my old ways, man. My old Southern gentleman. Sometimes I like my man Doc Holliday. I'm a Daisy if you do, a Daisy if you don't, but I ain't no Daisy. But really, that's the thing. It's important that you found yourself a career because, again, bodybuilding is not as lucrative if you look at it as other sports. I wish there was where which you can make a living off of it,
Yeah,
where,
yeah.
if you're the lucky few who get sponsorship, and are you a
Mhm.
sponsored athlete?
Not yet. We're manifesting that.
Yeah, well, like I said, that you probably have a great attitude about yourself, and also, like again, said again, the natural stuff is getting really popular, and it's really,
Hmm.
really blowing up, especially in the IFBB. Like, especially one thing, what was that feeling when they told you you're now IFBB Pro?
Yeah, that was just and new IFBB Pro
Ooh, yeah.
Sable Smith. That was just like because I've dreamed of that day. It's just like go to bed during my prep. I would just literally lay in bed because it's hard to sleep when you're so lean. Just lay in bed, just listening to pretending that I'm on stage and they just saying new IFBB Pro Sable Smith every day. I just tell myself IFBB Pro Sable Smith IFBB Pro,
I
and
feel
that
like
just felt so surreal. It was like, oh my gosh, like literally dreams here. Like this is literally what it sounded like. This is what it felt like in my dreams. So it was awesome.
you feel like Rocky Balboa said, "I did it, I did
Yeah,
it, I did it," because
literally, yeah. And I was
it,
just on stage, just praying, just oh my gosh, this is literally happening.
and like I said, you won both in your class and the overall. That's pretty good because
Hmm.
that means that really the judges found something about you that you were better than your other competitors, and they gave you that opportunity. And that's something you can snitch on your resume.
Yeah,
I am natural competitor, overall winner,
the best.
the best. I'm like 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 Scarface. I'm the best. Like you're the best.
Yeah.
That's the thing is you have to work and maintain that. Like
Mm.
one question I ask you, ladies, because as you know, I'm a big dude and I like food, and especially after that long prep.